Are you ready to stop the self-sabotage and create the life you desire? Well, in order for that to happen, you need to break free from the bad beliefs that are holding your success hostage. You need to optimize the stress by turning it into extra energy for success. And those hurtful habits? Well, we need to give that pain a purpose for progress. Welcome to Stop the Self-Sabotage and Create the Life You Desire podcast. I could not figure why she was doing so much better than me. Because what I had taught her, she was absolutely terrible at it. But yet, she was still getting more business than what I was. Why? What was her secret sauce to success? So I had taught someone a technique on utilizing hypnosis to help clients break through blocks with same-day results. And I always encourage my students to go further than I do. I always want them to be more of a success than I am, because I know that they have a strength, talent, and ability that I don't necessarily possess. And I want to watch how they bring that out. And then it's going to give me clues, because success always leaves clues. It's going to give me clues on working with people that have similar personalities. So I taught this success technique to one of my students, and she was terrible at it. Just awful. And then went out and was an absolute outrageous success with attracting people in. Not necessarily with using the technique, but with attracting people in. And I'm like, okay, what does she have that I do not? And that's where it differentiates you from everybody else in your environment on the reason why others have what it is that they desire and you do not. They have a belief that you do not have. She believes something about herself that I didn't believe. In fact, the belief I had was actually keeping me stuck and struggling. It was keeping me at the same level of success. Welcome to break free from the bad beliefs that are holding you hostage. They're holding you back from what it is that you want to achieve. You attract what you are, not what you want. You attract what you believe about yourself and what you can achieve. By the way, what happened with that student where I taught that very special technique, and then she wound up being phenomenal, not because she was good at the technique, but simply because she had a belief I didn't. She had a belief that if she partnered with others, they'd bring in all the business that she needed. Okay, so that's the belief that she was operating on. I had a belief that I needed to do it all on my own. Can you see how that would cause problems? Now, beliefs are simply the truth you've accepted about yourself. Whether it has a foundation in reality or not does not matter. It's what you think you can do. Well, I want to give you the tips on how to upgrade your beliefs and how to upgrade them rapidly, starting today. Because when you break free from a bad belief that's holding you back, the subconscious mind only understands yesterday and today, this moment right now, and it's wanting to know, what is it going to get out of upgrading that belief today? So this cannot be something where you're like, okay, the rewards are going to come maybe in a few days or weeks, months, or even years. No, the reward needs to be same day for this to be able to work for you. So you want to be asking yourself, what is it that's going to be better in your life today, with your focus, with your feelings, and with your actions, not the resolution. But the beginning steps for results, what's going to be improved starting right now because you've upgraded this belief that's been holding you back. By the way, in case you're new to my world, Dawn Ferguson, I'm a certified hypnotist. This is my specialty, is understanding how to do what's known as an identity upgrade for you. Because it's not enough just to change your actions, because your actions are determined by your emotions. And most people look for emotions that are going to be positive, but those are not sustainable. You need to use the emotions that you have going on right now, the fear, the overwhelm, the anxiety, and you need to be able to channel all of that into extra energy for success. So those triggers actually turn on a part of you that's going to use those emotions instead of you being used by them. And then the actions you'll be taking will be progress oriented. But then the emotions that you experience are going to be determined by what you focus on. And you are focusing on what you believe about you, and 80% of what you believed about you was accepted by age 8. So we need to look at upgrading those beliefs, breaking the limitations on them, because the belief itself will always be there. See, the fact that I had a belief that if it is to be, it is up to me, that is a great belief to have as a leader. But then the belief had the rules around it that I could be the only one doing it. So I had to upgrade the belief that if it is to be, it is up to me as a leader, and then attract in the people who are going to help support me with that vision so I didn't have to do all the work myself. So the belief is always going to be there. We need to look at how to upgrade it, and that's what your focus is going to be. Okay, so this is actually going to be part 1 of a 3-part training. There are 10 steps to be able to upgrade your identity, upgrade the beliefs, breaking the back of the limitations that have been keeping you stuck in lack. Here is step 1, the coin. Out of the 10 steps, every thought produces its physical counterpart. I'll get it out. Okay, so you have 40 to 60,000 thoughts every single day. Take out 8 hours of sleep. That's basically one thought every single second. That is a lot moving through your mind. And as soon as something moves through your mind, it is going to produce its physical counterpart as far as the chemicals. And those chemicals then determine, are you moving into action? Are you avoiding pain? That's the only 2 things that you can do with those chemicals. That adrenaline is going to be there. That cortisol is going to be there. But is it going to move you into progress, or is it going to have you hiding from the things that will potentially hurt you? Well, what's going to determine that is how long you hold those thoughts. So you have your subconscious mind, which runs all of your habits and patterns. It also runs your autonomic nervous system, all the chemicals that you produce. And then you have your conscious mind, also known as your willpower. What's the job of your conscious mind? It is to hold the vision, the experience of what it is that you want to have in life. That is its job. The subconscious can only recreate patterns that it's already experienced. The conscious mind has to hold the vision, so the subconscious then says, oh, well, what have we experienced in the past that can actually assist us with this? Because you have come across something. Maybe you just didn't implement it. You have a lot of knowledge from the books that you've read, the videos that you've watched, the podcasts that you've listened to, but you haven't necessarily turned it into wisdom through action. It's laying there dormant. So use your conscious mind to hold that experience. And then the subconscious mind says, oh, well, we have the thought that this is what we want to have. Now it's my job to produce the physical counterpart through the implementation to get us there. Okay, so the reason why this is called the coin is, I believe it was Buddha who said, you can take any coin and slice it as thin as you want, and there's always going to be a heads and there's always going to be a tail. There is always going to be the beginning and there is always going to be the end, the alpha and the omega. You must have both parts. If you allow yourself to be led around by your previous beliefs of what you can achieve, you will simply continue to produce what you've already received. The subconscious mind cannot give you something new. It can only give you what has been programmed to create. You must use both parts of your mind, and that's with your conscious, your willpower, holding the vision of you being your healthiest. That's where it starts. But the conscious mind cannot waste its very valuable but yet limited willpower by making the decisions. Well, do I eat healthy today, or do I eat the bag of chips? Do I take the action for asking for my worth, or do I allow somebody to use me as a doormat again? If the conscious mind has to continue to make the decisions on all of that, you will run out of willpower as early as 3 o'clock during the day. And then you've only made it halfway through, that the rest of the day is going to be spent then recreating your past. So it is the job of the conscious mind to say, this is what I want to experience, and then turn it over to the subconscious and say, now find all the ways to make it happen. That's the reason why I'm a certified hypnotist, is because I know how to direct your subconscious mind for this to happen automatically for you, normally and naturally. Whew. Okay, by the way, if you want to be able to win a $100 gift certificate to use working with me privately or any of my other products, programs, or services, give me a shout out in the comments with the hashtag September Success. And along with that, your key takeaway from today. Every time you do that, it will put you into this drawing. And this runs all month. I do this on Mondays and Wednesdays. And every time you give me hashtag September Success with your key takeaway from that day, you will be entered in the drawing. By the way, if you're listening to this on my podcast channel, Stop the Self-Sabotage and Create the Life You Desire. In the link for today's podcast will be where you can go to for the video to be able to put your hashtag and then your key takeaway so you can be entered in the drawing. Okay, so we go back to number 1 out of 10, every thought produces its physical counterpart. Let me ask you this. What were you taught to think about yourself? What were you taught to believe about what you could experience in life? So there's 5 areas. One of these is going to be causing you a challenge right now. It's either going to be money, it is going to be health, relationships, career, or you're a leader and you want to tap into your next level of potential. One of these is what you've been thinking about because you feel like you're being held back. You don't know how to move forward. Well, it's because you were taught to think of yourself in a way that you were limited. So, what were you taught to think? And that's the reason why you're not taking the actions that you need to, is because those thoughts must produce their physical counterpart. And the physical counterpart, no matter how much you want to improve the quality of your life, you have to go by your beliefs. And your beliefs say that you cannot have that in your area of life. Okay, so you got to start upgrading the belief. Number 2, what's focused on comes to fruition. So out of those 40 to 60,000 thoughts, you have several of them that are just going to flit through and they're going to be done. And then you've got those that hang around. And 80% of them are going to be based on some sort of pain because you hold 80% of your beliefs around things that have caused you hurt. Okay, so what do you need to do about that? You need to give your pain a purpose. You need to be able to access your subconscious mind where that painful belief is held, and you need to give it a reason for upgrading your life. Not because things are going to be better, but because the world is going to be better. You need to give that pain something to do. I don't know what that might be. Should you be doing podcasts about the pain that you've been through in your own life? And then showing what's known as a signature system, the steps that you can take someone through to be able to assist them, not because you've got it all figured out, but because you're a few steps ahead of them. Do you need to be writing articles? Do you need to be putting out a book? Do you need to be volunteering? You need to give the pain a way to show up that's going to lead others into progress. That is giving your pain a purpose. So that way, when the pain shows up, you will automatically be programmed of, how am I going to use this not only for me to be better, but for the world to be better? So let me ask you this. Can someone have too much healthy self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-worth? Self-confidence is based on the actions you take. Self-esteem is the feelings that you have about yourself. And self-worth is how you value yourself. Can someone have too much of that in a healthy way? No. So whenever we look at what's focused on comes to fruition, and that 80% of what you think is based on pain, well, now you can be asking yourself, how can I use this pain to give me even more self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-worth? And then how can I use it for others to have the same thing? And we're going to get to number 3 in just a moment. But let's talk about your happy ending. I started off with break free from the bad beliefs that are holding you back, that you have accepted bad beliefs about you that are actually limiting you. And you only keep recreating the past and the past pain because it doesn't have a purpose. And you keep going over this, you're ruminating it. On it again and again in your mind. You're going to those loops that don't ever seem to be closed, and it sends you in a spiral. So you have to be able to use the spiral. You're going to spiral, but instead of spiraling down, it's spiraling up. The pain's never going to go away. So we have to give it a purpose. And then that belief that has been holding you back, well, now we have all the ways that it can actually push you forward. What is going to be your happy ending because of all of that? What's going to improve with your money when you're actually able to ask for what you're worth, your finances? And how are you going to be a bigger blessing to others because of the prosperity that you have? How is your health going to improve now that you're no longer under this type of unrelenting stress that continues to swallow you up? Instead, you use it as a wave to take you to where you want to go. Your focus on your career and your relationships, because that's all careers are, relationships that are expanded to include your self-worth. How is it going to be that you're stepping into leadership, showing others not with what you say, but by the actions you take of how you can make the world a better place? Because people are going to pay more attention to what you do instead of what you say. They can't hear what you're saying because your actions speak louder than words. What is waiting for you as far as your next level of success that has actually been calling your name for quite some time, but you can't hear it because you keep mucking around in the trash of yesterday? What is that next level waiting for you? What is the happy ending for this chapter of your life right now? If you want to explore that more, I've got two options for you before we get to step number 3. Option number 1 is go to drewdawnferguson.com/WFW. It stands for Wealth from Within, where it gives you the signature system of how to do everything that I'm sharing with you right now. And it is a course where you can do it at your own pace because you're going to be doing it for yourself. If you decide that you want to speed things up, then you can work with me and you can get this course as a bonus. All the information is going to be there for you. And then the other option I have is learn how to do this for others. Become a certified hypnotist. Let me teach you the insider secrets to this success system. Go to isch4u.com. See everything that's offered in the course. And if you decide to register for the class that's getting ready to start, I will give you Wealth from Within as a bonus to your training. Okay, now let's move into number 3. Whenever there is a disagreement between your conscious and your subconscious mind, your subconscious mind wins every single time. This is the reason why you have to get it into agreement with that vision, with that end result that you're holding with your willpower, with your conscious mind. And the only way you can get subconscious agreement is by then looking at symptom expression. Symptom expression says that everything you do is simply a symptom of what you believe. And the symptoms and what you believe is not going to go away. It has to be upgraded for the symptoms to be upgraded, because you can have the symptoms of failure or you can have the symptoms of success. Success leaves clues. So you have to look at symptom expression, that it is going to be upgraded to go along with the belief that you have. But for you to upgrade the belief, then you have to upgrade what motivates you. Status, control, freedom, relationships, truth and justice. Those are the big 5. And each of them has a positive way to be motivated for progress and a negative way. And as long as you're allowing that motivator to move you in a negative way, you will move into pain avoidance instead of progress producing. So you have to address the motivators. And then after the motivators, it's what do you value? And it's not just what you value about the world, it's what you value around you. Certainty, variety, worthiness, or validation. You have a belief in one of those areas. That belief is what's causing you to hold yourself back. So we look at then what is the progress side of that belief. So it's what you value, what motivates you, and the symptoms that you're expressing. You're expressing symptoms of either success or failure. See, success is easy. You're complicated. You can't break this down to, oh, I'll chant a few affirmations and I'll write things down and I'll make a pretty picture board. That's all external. Internal, what you value about you, your strengths, talents, and abilities, what motivates you to move into progress, and then the symptom expression. What have you been taught about expressing success? Upgrade all of that. You'll be able then to upgrade your results externally. All of that is held in the subconscious mind. And if you do not access the subconscious mind, using the keys to unlock your potential. Your conscious mind and where you want to go is going to lose every single time, because the subconscious is going to go, no, I have to go back to what we've been programmed to do, which is the reason why willpower will run out on you. You have to reprogram and recondition your subconscious mind that this is what it's supposed to value about you. This is how it's supposed to move you forward from pain into progress by giving it a purpose. And then everything you do will be the expression of success, no matter what happens in your external world. Okay. As I said earlier, this is one part of a 3-part training. If you want to be able to be put into a drawing to win a $100 gift certificate, the winner will be announced the 1st of October. Give me a shout out in the comments with hashtag September Success and your key takeaway from today. You'll be entered in that drawing. If you decide that you want to go ahead and move forward now to break free from the bad beliefs that are holding you hostage because they're keeping you stuck in what you value and what motivates you and what you're expressing, then go to drewdawnferguson.com/WFW and see how you can begin to upgrade this. Okay. I am looking forward to seeing you on Mondays and Wednesdays for the month of September, where we are going to continue with the other 2 parts to this training. And until then, it's time for you to turn on your brilliance even brighter. But as long as that bad belief has control of your light switch, it will continue to hold you back, because it will dim down your brilliance to your previous pain. Time for you to experience what's known as transfer of authority, so you can turn on your brilliance and what you believe about you even brighter, because you will then attract what you are. I look forward to that light and you sharing it in our world today. Bye now.